Get in there, lads and lasses. War Captain Bruno does it again, saving us at the end of the game to see us come away from the game winners at St James's Park against Fulham in a 2-1 game. Fulham thought they'd done enough to steal something in the game, but we never give up. We are Newcastle United and we fight to the end. Bruno delivers again, as always, right in front of the Gallagher end. And I mean, that was a really, really good performance once again by the lads. It finished, of course, 2-1 to us against Fulham. And make no mistake, that was a hard fought as it comes. We started fast, hit the woodwork twice inside 6 minutes into the game. We created loads early on in the game as well. Could easily been well ahead before half time, and finally got that breakthrough with Jacob Murphy to make it 1-0 when he really got that good run going, and he took his chance really, really well. Direct, hungry, causing problems, but then, of course, typical Premier League chaos. Sasa Lukic finds an equaliser, and suddenly it's game on, of course. But for me, the Sasa Lukic equaliser shouldn't have really counted, to be honest, because he headbutts the back of Sven Botman and he doesn't actually connect with the ball. He gets the back of Sven Botman's head, and then, of course, we'll see on the highlights, you know, as you will see, probably the picture on screen as well, of Sasa Lukic with a cut on his eyebrow. Now, that's obvious that he's headbutted Sven Botman there. That should be a foul in the play, and that goal should be written off. But, of course, Peter Banks, who was the referee today, not Tony Harrington, because they changed the refs with less than a 24 hours notice, by the way, as well. So what was the VAR in Peter Banks was now the referee, and what should have been Peter Banks was, of course, John Brooks on VAR. So Scouse contingent for the game, and they did their absolute best to try and ruin any sort of positivity for us today in that game. But thankfully, they didn't win out. We won out in the end, and we picked up all 3 points. And I mean, you could feel the tension around the ground through the TV screen, of course, because obviously I wasn't at the game. But we've seen this story before. You know, we've been in moments like this where the referees have been against we, and it seems to happen quite a lot. We've just seen it happen, you know, only a few weeks ago when we took on Brighton in Pawson, was doing exactly the same, trying to keep the game level, trying to keep the opposition team in the game. And I mean, until, you know, we get a little bit more neutral referees into the game, we're going to be constantly seeing this, because the referees do have an agenda. But moving away from that, talking just purely about the game, it was a really good performance by the lads. I thought Bruno worked his socks off in the game, as he always does. Of course, we saw Sandro come into the game as well. Nice to see him in there. Nice to see that he is getting healthy as well after that small sickness that he had picked up. And I mean, I thought Jacob Murphy took his goal really, really well, and he had a chance to get a second in the game as well, which again was sort of a similar situation to his first. He just needed, I think, to have a little bit more composure, take it a little bit more in towards the goal, you know, get Leno to try and come at him a bit more. And it was basically just a who blinks first situation, and Murphy would have, you know, scored if he had have just took that little extra step further before taking his shot, but he took it a bit too early. Leno saves it, and that, of course, stopped us from being able to go 2 ahead in the game. And then, of course, that Sasa Lukic goal, which I thought should have been written off. But anyway, at the end of the day, you know, we've come away from this game at St James's Park, another win in the bag. We're now sitting 11th place in the league. And, of course, Fulham are now in 16th place in the league. We'll go into the next game coming up, of course, which will be against Spurs in the League Cup. But I mean, let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. What did you think about that game? Who was your standout performer in the game? Any Fulham fans watching, what was your thoughts on the game? And of course, I'm probably going to get stick for, again, saying that the referee was very one-sided. But I mean, if you'd seen the game, you've seen how it went out, then you will, understand where I'm coming from on that. I mean, Peter Banks was very, very lenient towards Fulham and was very, very strict towards us. But let us know your thoughts anyway down in the comments below. Was come away from St James's, winning the bag, 3 points in the bag, and we push on to get ourselves up that table and into Europe next season as well. Till next time, hit that like, share, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next one. However, lads.